Our seventh lecture video on rotational motion will look at how rotational motion is transferred specifically with gears. Gears are used to transfer rotational motion from one gear and shaft to another gear and shaft. The gear that causes the motion is the driver. In this picture, gear A is the driver. The gear to which the motion is transferred is called the driven, which is gear B in this picture. For any gear problem, there is one basic formula that can help us find the angular velocity of either gear or the number of teeth each gear has, as long as we know the other three pieces of information. Capital T times capital N equals lowercase t times lowercase n, where capital T is the number of teeth on the driver gear, capital N is the number of revolutions of the driver gear, or the angular velocity in revolutions per minute of the driver gear, lowercase t is the number of teeth on the driven gear, and lowercase n is the angular velocity in revolutions per minute of the driven gear. The capital letters represent the driver gear, and the lowercase letters represent the driven gear. Let's take a look at an example using our basic formula. A driven gear with 90 teeth makes 42 revolutions per minute, or RPM. The driver gear makes 105 RPM. How many teeth are on the driver gear? First, we will carefully write down all of the pieces of information we are given. We know the angular velocity of the driver gear is 105 RPM, the angular velocity of the driven gear is 42 RPM, and the driven gear has 90 teeth. We want to find capital T, the number of teeth on the driver gear. The basic equation we can use to solve this type of a problem is that angular velocity times the number of teeth of the driver gear are equal to the angular velocity times the number of teeth of the driven gear. Dividing both sides by capital N, we see that the working equation is capital T, the number of teeth in the driver gear, is equal to lowercase t times lowercase n divided by capital N. Next, we can substitute the data we are given. The number of teeth in the driver gear is equal to 90 teeth times 42 RPM divided by 105 RPM. This shows us that the driver gear has 36 teeth. This concludes our first video on the basics of gears.